What's up, y'all? This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. There's no basic thing I say out of these videos. I'm just doing it for pure entertainment purposes only. Just want to make this video real quick to stress the fact that there is no way anyone can give you a date, no matter how good they are at reading patterns, fractals, micro, whatever the case is, you know. There is no one that can give you a date. Not one person in this community that knows 100% certain when it's going to pop, when it's going to, you know. There's things that can give you warnings. There's things that you can read that that have worked in other charts and da-da-da-da-da. But even in those charts, there's never a 100% guarantee with anything. So, I feel like there's people that are confident maybe in their DD and their TA that they say, okay, this is going to happen this date, no matter what, it's happening. The problem with that is then you have people following your page and just getting hyped up and excited and planning on it, making plans to be a millionaire, probably telling their family, don't worry, we're going to be rich, da-da-da-da. And then the date comes and goes and nothing happens. And it seems like those dates that are given out, it gets even like worse than normal. So it's like, oh my God, it's dipping. Like, I don't like to call out names. I know that there's one dude I've followed a lot on YouTube and watched his patterns, but he gave a date of yesterday squeeze. A few months ago he gave a date of a squeeze. So you can't give a date, because what happens is then it makes people get too excited for something that's not going to happen. Now, me personally, I believe a squeeze is going to happen. I just don't know when, but there's still no guarantee that even happens. You know what I mean? You can't ride everything you got on one bet. But, well, I kind of am. But I mean, I play the market here and there and do other things, but AMC is definitely my big one. You know what I mean? And I do, I believe that the corruption at some point will get, something will happen. And I think this Too Big to Fail act that's coming up, I think that's something to keep an eye on. And like I said in my last couple videos back, this thing's probably going to take a couple years, a year. I don't think it's going to play out. I mean, I would love, and it could happen at any day. To be honest, the way this thing's wound up, it could happen any moment, any day of the week. But I think they drag it out as far as they can. Government issues, coming up with that Too Big to Fail act. Nothing ever just comes and goes fast. So they get that going. They get their ducks in a row. They still hope to shake you off. And then eventually, a year or two down the road, when it's even more dead than it is now, people aren't talking about it, they unwind it. They just let it rip, go, explode, whatever it is. Probably goes and flows up for 2-3 days, and then we're back to just this barcoding land that we live in, and lower lows. It's funny, like yesterday we did have, this is why I stay with AMC, to be 100% honest. Yesterday AMC reported their best Q3 earnings in the history of their company. Like not this last couple of years or last few years, the best in their history. They've got so many things going on right now with other, so COVID and the way they've been shorted forced them to expand their business. And this is only, this business that they're going into is still a baby. AMC itself is an old business, but a lot of the stuff they're doing now, the popcorn, the credit cards, the candy that's coming up, the alcohol they're working on, all this stuff is still in its infant stage of business. So if you've ever run a business, like, I run a business, my first 5 years, very, inconsistent. I did have a couple good years, but the money wasn't coming to my pocket. It was going out, expenses and bills and rent and, product, and still learning, and they'll get bigger and better through time. So even if this thing doesn't squeeze in a year or two, the way I look at it now is I've got my money invested into it. I don't look at the money. It's gone until it gets the numbers I need. You know what I mean? I'm willing to lose what I've got in there. But worst case scenario, the way I look at it is this business is going to continue to grow. They're going to continue to dilute and pay off debt and do things they got to do, but the business will keep growing. It's inevitable that you kind of saw what type of people they were going to be. You know, the business was failing, so they branched out and did other things. There's people that won't branch out, that won't try new things, and those businesses will fail. So it gives me confidence that even if this thing doesn't squeeze and somehow they manipulate it down and so many people sell that it's just impossible to squeeze, that in the next, this isn't going to be a popular opinion either, but if it doesn't squeeze in the next year or two, then hey, I'm a long-term hold. I got this thing for 10, 15 years. And at that point, when I'm ready to check out, sorry, man, I swear to God, if this thing squeezes, I'm buying a new phone. I actually ordered a new phone, and it was only like a replacement phone for $99. And this is about a week and a half ago, and it hasn't showed up in the mail, so I need to check on that, because this shit is ridiculous. Sorry. Anyways, yeah, that's all I got, man. So, like I said, if this thing doesn't squeeze, which I do think it will, don't get me wrong, I'm 100% confident in the DD I've done and the research other people have even done. I'm 100% confident this thing, there's no escape. Now, I think it takes a lot longer than, and it, I don't know, man, it's hard to explain. If you've ever been through court systems or drug out business plans through courts and government and all that stuff, it always takes a long time. So I guarantee people know about this behind the back, you know what I mean? Like government officials, people know. Like, in my opinion, I'm not a financial advisor and I'm not a freaking guru, so I can't 100% say for certainty, but in my little monkey brain, I'm feeling like people know about this. They're trying to figure out a way to unwind it, and in the meantime, hopefully everyone just gets out and sells and they don't have to worry about it. But I do believe that people know, people in higher places, people in all around know about it, even us little retail holders that are waiting. Everyone thought people in GameStop were crazy until it happened. People still laughing at me on my social media and shit about this. Say, oh, haha, it ain't gonna happen. How does it feel? Just to talk shit. That's just people's human nature. But when it does happen, who's gonna be, you know what I mean? Who's gonna be the crazy one? And if it doesn't happen, I've lost what it would cost me to freaking basically eat out. So I don't eat out at McDonald's anymore. I used to get McDonald's breakfast every day. Also dropped like 50 pounds after I stopped doing that. But it's basically what I would eat at McDonald's every day, what I invest into AMC. You know what I mean? And then I've been making money off of other plays as well. So, you know what I mean? It doesn't stress me out. I'm not worried about the money that goes into it. For me, it's what am I willing to risk to change my life, my kid's life, and maybe my kid's life. Hey man, I'm willing to sacrifice a biscuit, a hash brown, a couple burritos, and a drink. You know what I mean? And random coffee, but not every day. Anyways, man, like I said, the main point of this video when I started was not to get excited about dates, just because something's gonna happen. You've been in this play long enough. If you've been in this play long enough, you know when there's excitement, they're gonna drop it. It hasn't changed. Nothing's changed. It's not gonna change until it does. That's the only way I can put it. So if you got diamond hands, they're definitely diamond. If you've been in this play as long as a lot of us, there's gonna be people in the comments that are depressed and down. I've never should have jumped in this. This is the worst play ever. Let them do their own thing. Be you, but don't let the stress of fucking money in the market like overrun you. You know what I mean? Don't expect nothing. Don't be like, oh, it's gonna happen this day and that day, because when you do, that's when you get let down. I started that. Listen, the only reason I'm telling you that is because I went through that whole thing in the very beginning of this. The first 5-6 months of this, I let everyone know I was gonna be rich. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna cover your bills. Yeah. Probably May. I remember being at my son's baseball game. It was hot as shit. Telling my dad, yeah, you know, probably in the next couple months, I'm gonna cover this. That was like 3 years ago. So I learned my lesson. Hopefully you do too. But no dates, especially YouTubers. If you're a YouTuber that watches my videos, don't give out dates, man. You can say that, hey, I think if we do this and this and this, it's gonna happen, but don't be like, it's gonna happen. Nope, no, guaranteed it's happening this day. And then all of a sudden when that day comes, it doesn't happen. Then you're like, oh, well, oh, you know what? Actually, what's going to happen is this. Now it's going to play out at this date. You're just stringing people along, and that makes you look like you're just trying to get plays and tips and all that shit. And I don't know if you are or not, but that's what it looks like to the average person. So, yeah. If you have an opinion of a date, you can say things like, hey, I think it's a big possibility this could happen, but there's no guarantees. Make sure you let people know there's no guarantees, because there is no guarantees. There's no guarantees this thing can squeeze. This thing could be oversold quadrillion times, and we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Anyways, have a good day. Be blessed. Let's get rich soon. Peace.